TSPN presents Love, Hope, and Faith with Heather Murdock.
Faith, and I'm interviewing today Bishop Richard Murungi from Kenya. So again, thank you for being on this morning. So Richard, you were talking about how you became a believer.
Yes.
And I wanted to kind of take you back for a minute, when you were young. What was it like? What was your village? Was it mostly Christian village? Or
when I was young, my village was like not very Christian. It was like a traditional.
Okay.
People believed in God, but they were praying like the mountains.
Okay.
There is a big mountain in Kenya, the second largest in East Africa. Mm-hmm. I come from the slopes of Mount Kenya.
Okay.
On the eastern part.
Okay.
And they used to worship some part of Mount Kenya before.
They worship the mountain?
Yeah.
Okay.
The god of the mountain.
Yeah, right.
And they did not in Christianity came by the missionaries.
Right.
Who traveled there and started preaching about Jesus.
In the colonial times?
In the colonial times.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then later, I was not born by then.
Right.
So that's how Christianity came in. And they brought churches which were very small. And it was not very strong. Revival was not very important in the community. Mm-hmm. And later, we have seen that God has moved to bring more revival. We have Protestant churches. We have the Catholic Church. We have the independent churches and the Methodists.
How many people were in your village?
In our village, in Akrangondru, village, we have 300,000 people.
Okay. When you say the word village, I think small.
Oh, yeah, there are some villages that, like our village in Idhundia, is we are 150 people.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So was it a poor village? Was there poverty or was it wealthy, or what was it like?
Yeah, the village is not very wealthy. It's a kind of affected. The greatest need, not only in our village but in Kenya, is poverty.
Yes, poverty.
Many people live below. 60% of the people of the population live below $3 a day.
$3 a day?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's their average income.
That's the average income. Wow.
I tell you, and that's all they survive on. That's how they live. And more to that, they depend on agriculture for their food crop.
Agriculture. Okay.
Yeah. And when there is no rain, there will be drought. Mm-hmm. When rain is not there, there will be no food.
What do you do when there's no rain?
When there is no rain, we end up even getting support from outside.
Okay.
People have to send corn from. I have seen corn coming from America. Mm-hmm. I've seen the government purchase and get food from outside so that we can be able to give to the people.
Right.
And
wow.
cattle die. Even some people die during the drought season.
How often is there drought?
Drought comes whenever there is no rain, whenever there is a problem with the weather and there is no enough rain to grow crops, because we depend on what grows in the land.
Right.
Yes.
So is drought every 10 years, every 5 years? Is it?
It is not timely. It is not occasional. We cannot predict.
Right.
It can happen any time whenever the weather changes.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yes, so we don't have stores. What I see the difference between America and Kenya is that all the food is in the store.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what season you are in. But in Kenya, food goes with the season. When the season is for mangoes, it will be mangoes. When the season is for papayas, it will be for papayas.
Okay.
So it is not like you don't get everything on time. And like in my village, I've started a feeding program where I feed children who are going through malnutrition and they have no food at all. So what we do, we cook food in the morning, and the children who are not able, the orphans who have no food, we give them something before they go to school.
Right. Oh, that's
and
so
Exactly. If you look at the kids in school, you'll find some of them fainting and falling down. Others are conversing, not because they don't have, they are epileptic.
Oh, wow.
Not because they are sick, but because they never had dinner or breakfast. So in the morning, because of the sun shining over them too much on the parents, you find them falling down. So we are trying to do some feeding to those kids to see that God helps them to go through school and get to get knowledge to keep them in their future.
Wow. So how many kids do you think you feed?
We feed we have now 40 kids that
40?
we are having. Yes.
40 kids, okay.
Yeah, the challenge we are having is that our finances is limited.
Yeah.
We don't make it to feed them all throughout the week. Morning breakfast and dinner and lunch. We only do morning breakfast and sometimes lunch, and other times we can miss lunch and do breakfast only.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So you have a church, Destiny Church, right?
Yes,
That's
I'm the founder of Destiny Community Church in Kenya.
Okay. And how long have you been leading that church?
Been Destiny Community Church after resigning from the Bible College where I was the principal and the senior lecturer together with my wife. I started Destiny Community Church in the year 2011.
2011, okay.
Yeah, on March.
And how many people do you think come into your church?
I have 12 churches.
You have 12?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And
oh, my goodness.
One church I have over 600 members.
Wow.
And another church I have 400.
Wow.
I have a church of 50.
Okay.
And
That's why you're the bishop.
Yes. And I do have a church of 300.
Right.
So I have different types of group in different villages.
So how do you select pastors in your churches?
Myself, having been from the Bible College, where I was trained by missionaries who started that college, I train my pastors. I take them through classes and teach them on leadership. I make sure they understand the true doctrine and they follow the right teachings of the Bible and the true principles of Christianity.
Right.
When I see they are mature enough, they work together with me first, then I release you to lead a church.
So that you mentor them?
Yeah, I mentor them.
Good. Okay.
And every year I bring teams from America and who are expert in teaching leadership.
Right.
And they help me to train them and teach things and also give them materials to be able to transform their life a little bit.
Well, I'm actually involved in something called International Leadership Institute, and it's a training and equipping ministry worldwide. I should talk to you about that later.
Yes, because those
I'd
are
love
the
to come
things
to Africa.
That's why I come here. My reason of coming to America is to connect, to get teams, and to network with the people.
Exactly,
yes.
Exactly. That's awesome. Good, we'll talk more about that.
Yes.
Okay, so are there women pastors?
I tell you,
Good.
My wife is ordained minister.
Good. Okay.
She is a reverend, and we minister together.
That's wonderful.
And always, she has been a pastor also in one of the churches, though now we decided to be together in the city of Nairobi, so that we can be able to raise a big church that is functioning.
Wow.
So lately we have decided to work together in the same
That's
church.
Beautiful.
She can preach, I can preach.
Yeah.
And she also ministers to the leadership. We have done the same thing for all the time. She has gone through the Bible College. She has a master's degree.
Wow.
And I do.
That's wonderful. I love that, to see husband and wives preaching together and ministering together.
Amen.
That's how God made it. That's
Amen.
beautiful. Yeah.
So women ministry, we have she leans to something we call sister to sister ministry.
Yeah, I read about that in your information here.
And empowering women in the community.
So how does she empower the women? How does she teach them to be empowered?
What we do is that we have a lot of windows in Kenya.
Widows?
Yeah, and we do have young girls who have been abused, who get pregnancies before, when they are teenagers. And we try to empower them to know that they can still realize their potential.
That's right.
And move forward.
That's right.
So
Amen.
we teach them, we do seminars,
Right.
and also young girls who go to school because of they are having some problem with because of their young girls, due to menstrual cycle, they miss classes in school.
Okay, so I'll make sure people understand that, because I didn't know anything about this. So you're talking about the young girls that have their menstrual cycle and they don't have sanitary napkins
They don't
because they're
have
too
that.
poor.
Yes.
So you're providing, that's part of what you're
We do
providing.
help them and provide sanitary towels where we can be able to do it.
Because if they don't have those things, then they're missing
They
school.
miss school.
That's right, and so their education is being
the
affected.
statistics in Kenya says that young girls miss 40 classes annually.
40?
40, yeah.
Okay,
because of lack of sanitary towels, they want to stay home.
Yeah.
Because of that challenge.
I never would have even thought of that. And I read, you sent me some information about your ministry, and I read that, and I was just, of course, that would be a huge stumbling block in their education, you know, because they would be just too embarrassed to go to school that way.
And
Yeah.
also it becomes like a shame.
Yeah.
You find some of them
Ashamed.
are embarrassed, feeling ashamed,
Yeah.
and they even fail their exams.
Right.
Because of that.
Because of that. Okay. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we actually have 1 more minute. Okay, we have 1 minute left. Okay, so Richard, so you, so your wife leads Sister to Sister, and that reaches widows and young girls, or all women?
All women.
All women. Okay.
Yeah, even widows. Like my mother in the village, she has a large team of widows she's leading.
Okay.
She is also a widow, but she has a team of like 30 widows whom she leads and she supports. We go there to train them.
Okay.
And we have a little number of HIV infected widows.
Right. Okay. Hold that thought. I'm sorry. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned, please.
Thank you very much.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.